GSP next fight: who will UFC star St-Pierre face next after vacating the MW title? Getty. A little over a month after claiming the 185-pound belt with an emphatic third-round submission victory over Britain's Michael Bisping, St-Pierre has vacated the title. The future UFC Hall of Famer announced his decision to relinquish the middleweight crown late last night in a statement on the promotion's official website. "My fight at UFC 217 was one of the greatest nights of my life, but I now need to take some time to focus on my health," the statement read. "Out of respect to the athletes and the sport, I don't want to hold up the division. I will be giving up my belt, and once I'm healthy I look forward to working with the UFC to determine what's next in my career." St-Pierre's decision to vacate the middleweight title has resulted in Robert Whittaker being handed the undisputed 185-pound title. It has also led many in the mixed martial arts world to ask themselves the same question: who will St-Pierre fight next? At this moment in time, Express Sport reckon 3 men are at the front of the queue to face the legendary welterweight next. Georges St-Pierre's possible opponents in 2018. Tyron Woodley. At this moment in time, the most logical fight for St-Pierre would be one against current UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. St-Pierre, 26, vacated the welterweight title in December 2013, a few weeks after registering a controversial split decision victory over Johnny Hendricks at UFC 167. When it was announced that St-Pierre would return to the UFC, many expected the 36-year-old to pursue a fight with Woodley. However, much to the frustration of many, he aggressively sought a bout with Bisping, an act which saw him receive his fair share of criticism. A fight with Woodley is well and truly on the table now that St-Pierre has officially left the middleweight division, which has been in turmoil for the last year. Woodley doesn't foresee a fight with GSP materializing, recently telling MMA Fighting's Ariel Helwani, "Georges St-Pierre blatantly don't want to fight me. I think it's embarrassing to the sport. Nick Diaz should a fight with Woodley failed to come to fruition. A rematch with Nick Diaz could be in the offing for St-Pierre." St-Pierre locked horns with the eldest Diaz brother in the main event of UFC 158 in March 2013, defeating the former Strikeforce welterweight champion via unanimous decision. Defeat to St-Pierre has long irked Diaz, who has stated his eagerness to settle the score with Rush on numerous occasions. Diaz too would no doubt be a money-spinning affair for the UFC, who are in dire need of pay-per-view selling fights following a less than impressive 2017. A rematch with Diaz hinges on the Stockton native not being handed a suspension from USADA for his potential anti-doping violation, which was the result of an alleged accumulation of 3 whereabouts failures. Conor McGregor. From the moment it was announced that St-Pierre would return to the UFC, the Canadian was linked with a mega money fight against Conor McGregor, despite the fact they don't compete in the same weight class. Talk of a bout between the pair first began after St-Pierre suggested he could fight as a lightweight at some point during his second stint in the UFC. Many interpreted his comments as an admittance of his eagerness to take on the UFC's lightweight champion. A fight between the pair would be the biggest in UFC history and would almost certainly shatter the promotion's current pay-per-view buy record. St-Pierre is well aware of the huge payday he would receive for fighting the notorious but won't publicly campaign for a fight with the UFC's lightweight champion. Everything is possible, but everybody is targeting Conor McGregor because the money. He's the money fight. But I don't challenge guys that compete in lower weight class divisions, St-Pierre told ESPN's Brett Okamoto. For me, I don't do that. I'm going up to fight Michael Bisping now. He's an amazing fighter. It would be an amazing honor, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. If the fans want it and he wants it, maybe it will happen, but right now, I'm focused on Bisping.